How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a little bit of a new brewery time in the form of Silvaticus Brewing. It is their Oblivion Black Lager. Yeah. As per it says on the side here, it says fermented gold. This black lager or Shores beer has dark chocolate and espresso highlights, which complement a rich malt backbone that finishes oh so smooth. So this comes courtesy of my boy Tyler. He sent me off a plethora of homebrew and tossed in two of these Silvaticus beers to boot. I have already reviewed the other one, which is a Roche beer that will go up at the same time this one does. And spoiler warning, in case you didn't watch that yet, it did not suck. Beer-wise, it looks like a black lager. Label-wise, I mean, I love it. Black on gold. You know how I am for a sucker for that stuff. But, just a little skull dude and the filigree. I dig it. Font choice is delicious. We're off to a very good start here. So hopefully I don't spill too much of this beer. I'm horrible at swirling this mug. But as you see, that rich kind of malt ball colored head, dark as dark could be, kind of base on it. So yeah, let's get a nose. Okay. You definitely get those kind of soft espresso vibes, especially at that milk chocolate. There's something I get every now and then, though. And I get them in darker, low ABV beers, which is almost like, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's like super disgusting. I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it. I get a soft little curdled half and half thing sometimes on some dark beers. And I'm getting that in this one. So I'm getting soft espresso vibes like they said in the can. There's a little bit of soft chocolate in there. Nothing too overly aggressive. I mean, you're talking about a low ABV. What is this? 4 and change, I'm assuming. 4.8% beer. But then you get that little bit kind of sour milk kind of thing. I don't know where that comes from. Is it a heavy oat addition or something like that? Or a grain choice? I don't know. But it's not disgusting. And I know that kind of sounds like curdled milk sounds disgusting. It has this kind of, you ever been to a diner and you used a half and half and you're like, this is bad, and you smell it and you're like, it's not really bad, but give it a couple more hours, that kind of vibe going on. So we're just gonna dive in. Cheers. And it does have that soft taste to it too, and it's almost like, and I keep trying to figure out a way to describe it in a way that doesn't sound like off-putting, because I don't view it as off-putting. I actually like it. It's like if you made like a semi-sweet milk chocolate with like warm half and half, but you get that nice soft espresso. It's not nearly as big as you thought it would be based off a nose, and you didn't think it was going to be big to begin with. So there's this nice soft roastiness that comes off espresso, like very much espresso too, not coffee. Quite a bit different from that. But then you get this nice soft kind of, like I said, semi-sweet kind of semi-milk chocolate kind of thing going on there with that little bit of warm kind of half and half vibe. I can't say it and not imagine it sounding like a horrible thing, but it's not. A really nice soft mouthfeel, almost kind of gets to like porter level kind of mouthfeel on it, which is kind of unique because it does finish in crisp and clean like a lager. But it has this initial softness to it that makes it kind of really cool. This is delicious, sub 5%, dark lager, rich, bold, but not overly aggressive. It's honestly, this is perfect session beer, to be honest with you. A lot of people, when they see dark beers, they never think of session, it's just kind of knee-jerk reaction, like, I'm not going to session a beer, but, I mean, even though this is a lager and it's supposed to be kind of a drinkable beer, it's still kind of mind plays you like that a little bit. But this is a beer that I could drink, like go to the brewery, belly up at the bar, post-COVID times, mind you, and I could drink pints of this for hours and have no qualms with it, because there's enough to the beer for me to sit down and make a video like this where I talk into the camera and I say all kinds of flattering things because the beer's good, not because I'm just trying to flatter the brewery or anybody with it. If it was crap, I would say so. But it's also drinkable enough to where it doesn't have to be the center of conversation. This could be a beer that facilitates an afternoon as opposed to dictates an afternoon. And I think that's a really cool trick that beers like this can pull off. And that's probably the hardest trick, more often than not, to pull off. A beer that can play both of those roles to where they can be that thing that you make a video about, but also be like, hey, let's just, sit down and drink beers and chat. And if you want to talk about beer, we can. If not, let's talk about other things. And I think that's a big positive in the way of this brewery. listen, 2 beers down. That's not a big, what do they call that? Pool of data to pull from when it comes to a brewery, But Tyler sent this off, and he said this is one of the breweries that I was really kind of digging on. And I'm going to tell you what, 2 beers deep, that Rosh beer and this one, I am a fan. This is the kind of stuff that really turns me on, and honestly, it puts this brewery on a short list of places that I really do want to visit once COVID kind of gets past and there's a sense of normalcy about things. But back to the beer itself. I mean, a really well done dark lager. Is it a Schwarz beer? It kind of lacks a little bit of bittering, a little bit of kind of extra for me to kind of really get in the Schwarz beer territory. I'd like a little bit more roast to it, just a skosh more bittering. It's floating that line between a Czech dark lager and a Rosh beer, or no, Rosh beer, Schwarz beer, but it's delicious nonetheless. And one of the better ones I've had as of late. Is it one of the best? It's up there. It's not Mount Rushmore status. I've had ones that have done me better, but it's worthy of being up there. I've just had so much dark lager as of late. I am not complaining, by the way. Valued availability. Yes. Tyler, anybody else out there? Any old Silvaticus? I feel like I'm butchering that name for some reason. Universe, let me know which one comes up. Price point on this, and leave you with if you like what we like as beer. If you like lager, you like dark lager, you like chugging beers, and you like drinking beer, you will like this. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of lager chugs right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.